All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to freedailycoaching.com. My name is Bert Bledsoe, and most of you already know me. But if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Google Plus, and you haven't met me before, just go over to freedailycoaching.com. You'll be connected to bertbledsoe.com as well, which is my main website, and you can get a little bit more information about me. What this call is a morning call that's hosted every single Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's set up. Excuse me, I don't know why I always get the hiccups and burps right before the call, but it's probably because I drink my coffee too fast. This call is set up to be a resource for yourself and for your team members, maybe prospective team members, so that you can take it up a notch, so that you can take your business to that next level and you can start your morning with a boost, right? You can start it off with some excitement. You can start it off with a tech tip. You can start it off with some good mindset. And the great part about the whole thing is you can participate. So if you're watching on Google Plus, if you're watching on YouTube, maybe you haven't come over to the actual hangout where we're participating live. You can see that this morning that we have Christina Irvin is coming over. I've asked everyone, and maybe if you didn't see it in the chat or you haven't responded, if you've taken some action this week, then we want to hear from you. And we just want you to raise your hand, or, easiest is just to raise your hand. Otherwise, you can let us know in the chat so we can bring you over. And the reason that we do this, and today's Friday Fiesta, we do a little free-for-all, is and especially I love it, to hear the stories, to find out that there's other people that are having challenges out there just like you, but they're pushing through. There's other people out there that are doing this, and you can do it too. And that's why we come together every single morning. We come together in the morning to do mindset, to do tech tips, to bring industry leaders out so they can share their experience, so that everyone knows that it is possible to build a home-based business. There's a gazillion different ways to do it, and you can do it. The model looks different for everyone. How Nancy Beach does it might be different than how Christina Irvin does it. I know it's different for Christina than it is for Clive, because Christina's a lady and Clive is a guy. Clive has like a big handlebar mustache and has like macaws and parrots and lives in Florida. Christina does not live on the beach in Florida, and I'm pretty sure she has puppies. She has dogs. She doesn't have big macaws. Now, she may have macaws as well, but that's not what she's telling people, right? She's not featuring that. So totally different. So guess what? Their model, their framework may look the same, but the application may be different. Whereas you could take someone like, let's say, Mr. Phil Aguilar up in Minnesota, right? I call him Minnesota Phil. If you take Minnesota Phil's business model and you compare it to, say, let's compare Phil's business model to the network marketer that just started last night at the home meeting, fill in the blank, whatever company. They're going to look different. And the reason that they're going to look different is Phil is a full-time marketer. Phil's doing this full-time from home now. He was able to quit his job. He had that ability. He had that opportunity. So he was able to do that. So his model is going to look a little bit different than, say, let me give you a great example, than, say, Bob Clark. Bob Clark's a great example of a part-time marketer, right? A lot of his training is focused on people that are doing it part-time. So the great part about coming and enjoying the free daily coaching call, whether you're here live, whether you're watching from YouTube or Google Plus, is that you can see there's a bunch of different people that are doing it. They're doing it at different levels, right? And when I say levels, think of your business as like you're walking up a stairwell, right? Like the back stairwell to like a big, like to let's say like a big, like the Transamerica building or something, right? And I started the staircase walk like a year ago. So Felicia started the staircase walk, let's say 6 months ago, 4 months ago. So where I'm at in the stairwell is a different place. Where Christina is a different place because she started in a different place. And guess what? This is the crazy part. the time doesn't really matter. I don't know why I have these in. It's not even plugged. Look, it's not even plugged into anything, you guys. I don't even know why they're. I'm like messing with them. I look down. I'm like, they're not even plugged in. Why do I have these on?
It's the age, Bert. It's the age.
Is. It's because I'm getting older.
But see, the thing is that you could have totally played that off. We'd have never.
No, I know. I just it was just goofy that I had that, like they were plugged into the computer. So the thing that's crazy about the stairwell, guys, in this analogy, is that no matter where you're at in the stairwell, and really this is the crazy part, it doesn't even matter how long you've been walking in the stairwell sometimes. And let me give you an example. If Nancy Beach is, let's say, a part-time marketer, and let's say she's walking 1 step a day. Let's just say, I'm just giving an example. And let's say that Minnesota Phil quit his job. So Phil Aguilar, he quit his job. He's full-time marketer, and Phil exercises every single morning, right? You see it every morning. He's like, oh, I did a bike ride instead of my run, or I did an extra run, or it's hot, so I did a workout. So Phil does his workout in the morning, and he's an endurance guy, so he's got massive energy, right? So Phil gets up. Let's say Phil gets up every day. He's full-time marketer. Let's say Phil runs 5 steps a day. Phil is going to progress up the stairwell at a different rate than Nancy because she's only doing 1 step a day. So over time, maybe Nancy's been in the industry longer, so she's gone pretty far up the stairwell. But when everyone else is looking, they're like, wow, how come Phil could catch Nancy? Well, it's not about that he caught her. He's doing a different business model, right? The reason some people right now are looking at Phil and they're like, wow, how is he getting that result? Well, he's doing different things than you. If you're not getting the result that Phil's getting, you're taking different actions. It's just that simple, right? It's just that simple. So it's not a comparison game. And the fun part is you can come here, you get to meet all different kinds of people. You get to meet ladies. I mean, today's a ladies' day. Where's Tom and Phil and Clive? None of them came out this morning. Oh, there's Clive said he'll come over. Okay, sorry, Clive, I didn't see your hand. I just brought you. Oh, now, oh no, Tom didn't raise his hand, but I just wanted to bring him out. I felt like the only guy over here. Like, look at me, I'm all fancy with the ladies. But let me make this analogy, guys. You could meet someone like Nancy Beach, who literally is, really, guys, it's a pretty big privilege to have Nancy here. She's an icon. People know who she is. She's, maybe inside of this platform or that platform, you don't know her, you haven't seen her, but if you've been around, you've been in one of the platforms where she's been knocking it out. She knows everyone, okay? That's the reality. She's been in the industry. She is a true networker. Okay, so you could come to this call and meet someone like me who's been doing it for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years now, right? That's got some momentum. You can meet someone like Nancy who's been doing this for years, that knows everyone. She's literally like a pillar in our community, right? People go. When I say people, I mean like 6-7-figure earners go to Nancy and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this? I'd like to get your input, okay? So you have people like Nancy on the call. You have someone like myself on the call that's been doing it for a couple years, and then you can contrast that with someone like Felicia who's been involved for like 4 months, right? Clive, how long have you been marketing?
Not long, probably, a couple of months, basically, yeah.
Okay, a couple months, right? And Clive isn't even from America. I'm just saying, guys. Have you heard him? He barely speaks English. And he's doing it. I'm just saying. Christina, how about yourself? How long have you been marketing now?
Just over 3 months. 1 month.
Okay. So see that? You got Clive just a couple months, Christina's 3 months. Felicia, it's more than it's like 6 months? Is it about 6?
I started in March, April, May, June, July. So 5 months. You were pretty much right on 5 months.
So check this out. you have, if Clive was on the other, oh no, that's about right. So if Clive was over on the other side of Christina, it depends on how you're seeing it. It would be like 2, 3, 5, then me at like a year and a half, maybe a year and 7 months. Then we got Tom, we'll ask Tom, and then Nancy, who's been doing this for years. Right? So when you come here, you get an eclectic mix. You get ladies, you get guys, you get people who speak English, you got people that are trying to speak English, right? You got dog lovers, you got bird lovers, you've got, people that are living down in Texas, out over on the coast of Florida. You got Tom living out in sunny Southern California, Nancy Beach up in New York, right? I mean, you get a wide range of experience, of talent, of everything. So what we do here on Fridays is we open the panel up so everyone else can come over, and we can talk about what are the actions that you took, what action steps did you take this week, and then what are the results. Because like we heard a couple of weeks ago from Phil, he's doing some Facebook ads that are knocking out of the park. You go talk to someone else, like you talk to me, I'm like, listen, I love that Phil did that. I made a joke that day about like I'm going to call Phil and find out how he's done that and all that. Everyone knows I rarely do paid advertising. It's very rare, right? Have I done any Facebook ads since Phil's crushed it? 0. Right? That's not my forte. So I'm not going to share about that, right? I'm not going to share about taking those actions. I'm going to share about something fun that I learned how to do, that a buddy of mine showed me how to do, and I customized, and now I'm going to go do a whole thing about that. So what I learned how to do and the action steps that I took this week, guys, are in addition to all of my normal actions, my normal daily routine that I do, I added in something new into the mix, and I got back into learning. I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to learn one new technical aspect of one of the things that I've already got. So I'm not going to go out and get like new real estate or do anything new, but either my blog or my Facebook or my YouTube. Like YouTube, these Google Hangouts just came out with something new. Now there's this thing called Showcase. So I'm pretty sure it's like in Webinars on Air where you can like do an offer. It's doing a showcase, but it's just built into the Google platform. So for those of you that don't have Webinars on Air, this new showcase thing might be the ticket. Show a little offer. So there's another little trick I learned this week, and I didn't even mean to learn it. I really learned how to do a fun thing on a website, right? So that's what I learned. And this is the cool part, guys. The result was this. I had to test it for about a week. Was it right before? It was like early this week that I showed that to you, right, Felicia? That moving website?
Yeah, earlier this week.
Like Monday, right? Or was it Monday?
Monday.
Oh, goodness. I'm getting my days all mixed up. But yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so is that when I made it, Christina? Because Christina saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday. So my buddy showed me how to put that HTML or whatever, so there's like moving video. You know how like on the websites where you go and there's a capture page and there's moving video behind it? Mm-hmm. So my buddy, I got a buddy who's really tech savvy, even more than me. This is what he's really good at. He's really good at going out and finding out how to do it. Like he can show me how to do it, and I picked it up like that. I was like, yeah, okay, I got it. The more difficult aspect was figuring out where to go to get that information. He's super good at that. So look, I'm going to send you guys, I'll put it in the link. And when I put this in the link, I'm just going to go have you guys check it out. You guys are all probably already on my list, so you don't have to necessarily sign up for this list of mine to opt in. However, I'm just going to throw this out there because this is what I do. Because know that you can always unsubscribe. If you want to see what someone else is selling, if you want to see someone that's good at this, right? You go find someone that's actually doing it and getting results. Why not go enter their funnel? Go right to where they're selling stuff, get on their list, and go through their funnel. Go through the process. Write it down. Like, oh, now they're selling me here. They gave me the free thing, and now they sold me a $7 thing, and now they upsold me to a $27 thing. That may be someone's model. You may go into someone else's model and find out, man, this guy gave me something free, and he hits me right away with a $300 thing. And then when I say no to that, then he downsells me. Because now when I got slapped with 300 and I didn't go, now 17 doesn't seem so bad. I'm like, well, 17, I could do 17. You know? 27 is a good deal compared to 397. Right? I'm going to get that $37 thing. So if you're interested in seeing how and what I did with the funnel, then you can go all the way through. If you just want to see that's the capture page, that's what I did. So my results are this. I spent a few hours more than I wanted to learning some technical things. However, in addition to learning how to make this fun little capture page, I also learned a bunch of different things. I learned how some other funnels worked, so I went through some other people's funnels. I learned about this new the new showcase tool because I was doing a hangout.
Hey guys, Bert Bledsoe here. I'm at Liv.
Oh, there's no sound on it anymore, is there?
You put the sound back on last night, Bert. I noticed after we got off the call, it had sound again.
Oh. I'll go turn the sound off. I'm sorry. I'm going to turn the sound off again. There's a lot of settings back there. So anyway, you can turn the sound on or off. So I'll turn the sound back off. So that's what I did. And I haven't. So guess what, guys? Now see, this is it. This is where I'm going to show you that I'll show you my cards because I asked you guys to come out and share yours. So now that you see I made the funnel, now my next step is I'm going to take a leap. And I'm going to try, and I'm going to go out and do like a little boosted post. I'm going to go out and try some little Facebook advertising. So, know what you guys did. So you can see that mine wasn't really super exciting, but it was fun for me. I learned a new trick. Now we'll see if it can. Hey, see, now this is the deal. Now we'll see if it converts. See if it works.
Yeah, if it's worth the extra setup time. By the way, point of advice: I just clicked on the link, and I forgot that it immediately starts talking. So you may have heard it in the background on my computer. But I'm like, don't click on the link right now.
Yeah, wait.
Especially while you've got your microphone open. But. Hey, I've got a little story to share, Bert, that kind of goes along with your stairwell conversation that you were talking about earlier. And it was a lesson that I learned last night. I mean, I've been learning this lesson over several weeks now as I'm getting lectured by different people in a positive way lectured, but educated, I guess, is a better way to put it, by several different people on what kind of information to share, both for my personally branded offer, my giveaway, what kind of webinars to host, because I am hosting at a minimum one webinar a week now, and what kind of information just to generally share when it comes to Facebook posts or blog posts or any of that. And what I was finding myself doing was, as I was learning things along this journey, so in your case, as I was going up to the next flight in that stairwell, I was teaching that stuff that I had learned or had mastered or put into place and all that. And what I found now is that I've gotten to a place where the material that I'm sharing is really no longer appealing to the people that I really need to or really want to attract with my offer. And what happened last night was I hosted a webinar that I kind of previewed when I was here on Tuesday about autoresponders and voice messages and video messages and all this kind of stuff. And it was kind of cool tools, but what I found is that everybody that registered for the webinar were people that I was already connected with in My Lead System Pro. So y'all are already doing it, which is really cool. There may be a point and gap of your knowledge, and there was with some people on the line, but I'm not trying to recruit you. So I got 0 people on the line with me last night that were people that I actually wanted and needed to talk to, people that I was attempting to recruit. So remembering that when the information that you're sharing, even if you are running at a crazy pace up that stairwell, as Bert says, not everybody is going to be right there hand in hand with you. So go back to the first level, teach at the first level, and reserve that 15th floor stuff for the people that are already on your team. So you don't spend crazy amounts of money, time, and effort putting together a message that is not doing what it's there to do, which is bring you new people to talk to.
That's really good. That's really good nuggets, Felicia. I actually, I feel like what you said is it's a really good point that we need to keep in mind, and it's something that Justice and Adam actually pointed out. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm starting to run all of my weeks together with all these trainings, but
I hear you.
but I think it was like 2 weeks ago when they were saying, to teach to the beginners because they're getting the most value out of what we have to offer right now because they're where we were a couple of months ago or a few months ago. So this week, that's what I've really focused on is really reaching those new people. And I have started, new outreach and techniques on like Google Plus, reaching out to people who are commenting, they're new to network marketing or they're new to marketing online and I'm reaching them as soon as they come into like a community or something like that so that I'm their first interaction. I'm comfortable. They're comfortable with me now, and I have the opportunity to develop that relationship with them. Some of them I've actually taken from I'm not interested in really building a business to, well, yeah, I want to work from home, but I'm not at that point right now. I'm just kind of checking things out. So I've helped them with their mindset shift, which again, at the level that they are, I certainly can speak to from my experience. So that's very good nuggets, and I think that's something we all need to keep in mind.
Right.
That's where our value is really most effective right now. And I think even Justice said that yesterday was he on the interview yesterday, Bert?
He was.
Yeah. So even yesterday when he was talking about, speaking to where you were last summer, and how he's progressed now, and so now you can do now the same that he did last summer. That's what you're doing for us.
Yeah, he was exactly the guy that was I won't say tearing apart because he doesn't do things in that way as y'all learned yesterday, but very blunt and straightforward and going through some of the webinars that I had planned and that I already had committed to for last night, and he's like, who wants to know that? Like, I mean, he's like, sure, it's great information. He goes, I believe that you know it. He goes, I believe that you can teach it, but he goes, imagine you just walked out of a home meeting and handed over $500 to join this business. He goes, do you think you really make the jump from you just paid $500 to do this business for the first time ever and you don't know what you got into to all of a sudden now you need to figure out how to use an autoresponder to attach to webinars on air to host webinars and to start building custom list and custom funnels. He's like, nobody thinks that. And it proved exactly right last night. And Bert's lectured me on this for months.
So it's a great point, Felicia. So check this out. Imagine this. This is a good lesson for all of us. Everyone gets this. And I want Nancy to speak to this in just a moment. And the reason why is because Nancy's been doing this for longer than us, and I think that she'll agree that we all do exactly that. Because what happens is this: as we learn in our businesses, we learn. So as we learn stuff, like we want to learn more, right? So I've learned how to make these custom funnels and stuff. I'm like, wow, I want to really make it fancy. I want to do this and this and this, right? It's not anything super complex what I did, right? It's not. It's really not. Like any one of you, I could totally teach you how to do it in probably like 5 minutes. But you guys have, like Christina, even Christina, the newest person at like 2.5 months, 2 months, I could teach you how to do it, Christina, because you surrounded yourself with people that are doing these types of things, and you've learned that type of stuff. But imagine this: imagine that Felicia's 5 months in. So she's like, oh, I'm going to learn. I got it. I know the formula. I'm going to collect. I'm going to capture. I'm going to communicate with the people, and I'm going to close them into a deal. And I'm going to collect them all and capture their info by doing webinars, right? So she's awesome. She's like, okay, I'm going to do this. And she's off learning how to do all of it. And she's like, I'm going to do these webinars and everything. Woo! Right? All excited about it because that's what she wants to do. That's like the medium that she wants to do. But since that's where she's at right then, she's trying to teach that what she just learned right then. But Christina's like, just like what Felicia said, Christina just came out of the home meeting. She's like, I don't even know what's a webinar? You can make it. What does that do? How do I do that? Do I need someone to do it with me? Now all of a sudden it's overwhelming, right? Mm-hmm. But if you said something like, and the teaching was something like, hey, do you want me to show you how to get more leads? Hey, would it be cool if I could show you how to do a home meeting on your computer? Now that sounds simple.
Yeah. I'd buy that.
That sounds how to have home meetings from your home computer.
Absolutely.
That sounds way easier than would you like to go to an online webinar?
Boom.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nancy, would you agree? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you will disagree. But would you agree that no matter where we're at in the procedure, like in the journey in the stairwell, that at some point we all forget and we start teaching stuff that we're doing? Like right now, I'm not going to go tell the brand new guy how to do the custom HTML thing that I did on the page. I'm not going to go show a brand new first day guy that. But if Clive calls me later and is like, hey, but I can't do a Clive impersonation. Right? If he's like, hey, mate, I'm going to go over and put in the information, right? Then I would be like, yeah, okay, screen share, right? I know, I can't do a Clive. I got to shave. I think if I shave my beard into a Clive.
That would help, yeah, that would help.
Do it. But, like, so that in that circumstance, I would teach it. But it wouldn't be effective if I just made a video today that was like, who wants to learn how to join My Lead System Pro and optimize press and Aweber and learn how to make copy-paste custom HTML code to make a video?
Yeah.
Like no one's signing up for that. No one.
Well,
no.
I actually had someone offer to teach me some HTML stuff, and it was awesome, but it really is not something I was interested in. I mean, there's so many things out there that you don't need the HTML to get your business going. That really, I stuck because I promised I would, and I stuck through the whole webinar that he did, and I love the guy. I really do. I love the guy, and he's so smart, and he wanted to help me build something bigger, and I appreciate that with all my heart. But it was not something I could wrap my head around. And that's what happens a lot of times too, is like the new people coming in, they're coming in and they have no clue. They have no clue. I don't have a clue on half the stuff. I'm an offline marketer. I've been doing this for 40 years, and I'm trying to bring it online. So a lot of the technical stuff is kind of confusing for me. And yes, I've actually let go of my ego and reached out and said, okay, I need help. And that was hard for me because I've always been if you want to do it right, you got to do it yourself. And there's a lot of us like that, right? So yeah, you have to sometimes let go of the ego and say, okay, I do need help in this. And when you connect with someone that has all this knowledge, like Felicia, I mean, I didn't know you were that new. I thought you've been around for a long time. I mean, I see you're out there and you're Miss Professional out there, and you look right at that camera and you're like hitting it, girl. It's just like, that is freaking awesome. It's like, I want to be like Felicia. And then you guys are saying you want to be like me. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. I appreciate that. But Felicia and Christina, oh my God, the information that you put out on yours. I haven't been able to get right on the webinars, but I've watched the replays. I've learned so much from both of you and Clive and Tom. Oh my God, I love your all of you guys are doing all the things that I haven't been able to do yet, and yet I've been in it 40 years. So we can all learn from each other, and that's really amazing. Something I wanted to share with all of you guys that just kind of blew me away. On Monday, it was my birthday.
Oh,
And
happy birthday.
thank you. I had over 500 birthday wishes from around the world. I actually had to put, I mean, it made me totally emotional. It was like, oh my God. I actually, and this is something I did, and you might keep this in mind. I mean, you may not have 500 people that wish you a happy birthday, but this is something that I did is I went in and I thanked every single person. It took me 3 days, but I thanked every single person. By doing that, I have picked up 15 people that want to get into something that I'm doing.
Wow, that's awesome.
And some of these people I haven't talked to. I mean, they met me at an event 4 years ago. Another one was from somebody I met at a mastermind 6 years ago. I mean, that I haven't even had connections with since I go, oh my God, look at you. You know, you got a website now, and you got, I want to talk more about you. So I've set up in the next 3 weeks, I have like 27 appointments to have individual conversations with people. So the one thing that it was like a light bulb going off between what Ray Higdon said and what Justice said yesterday. I mean, it was like all of these things are kind of like rolling in together. And it's like, okay, if I really do want to bring my offline into the online world, and I'm struggling with it. I'm going to be honest. I'm struggling with it. Offline, I can sell snow to the Eskimos in the middle of an ice storm, you know. But it's the point that I've made these relationships over these years, and the people are. I say I need help, and they're like, me. I want to help. And that's the kind of relationships you need to build on here, whether you're brand new or if you've been around for a while. Building those relationships and saying, hey, I do need help, and I think that was the hardest thing for me, is to actually, you know, break down and say, okay, I need help. And it took someone like Bert, and I thank you, Bert, to make me realize that I do have the value that I have offline, and the connections that I've made over the last 7 years with all of the people that most of you are looking up to as leaders, like Ray Higdon sitting next to him before he was a broke son of a gun back then, and I mean, we were sitting there pretty much crying in each other's, you know, pity party, and to see him where he is now, David Wood, I mean, look where he is, and he and I and his wife were sitting there at a table at one of the events. I mean, all of these people, I've seen them grow. I went a different direction. I took it offline. I took what I learned offline, and I actually developed it into a multiple six-figure income, which, but there was a different context to the kind of work that I do, and it was where I actually put myself in a position of being on a 24/7 hour, you know, call. And I don't want to do that anymore. So now I'm looking to bring what I know to teach other people so that they can do what I was doing, because I don't want to be into that physical place of actually having to work, you know, one-on-one with people. I want to be able to bring it out to more people at one time. And Bert made me realize that I have that value when he came to me at one of the events and sat down with me, both of us with tears in our eyes. And he made me really feel special that I do need to bring this, and I'm doing a disservice to people by not doing so. And hearing that from someone that feels that I gave him that leg up to move forward, sometimes you need to hear that from someone who you didn't even know you affected. And,
Nancy, if I
that
may,
was beautiful.
If I may, Nancy, I know we haven't known each other very long, and we've only had a few conversations, but you do have this amazing ability, because it's obvious that you feed off of other people's energy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes you so special offline. But you do have this amazing ability to emote that over the internet too. So at least I felt it in our conversations. Like I even told you happy birthday the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to give you a big hug. And,
and I accepted it. Thank you.
So yeah, you do have that. I mean, you still have that skill online. That's all I wanted to say. I'm sorry.
I'm just learning how to bring it there, and I thank all of you and Bert and all of the group. This group, I really just started really plugging into it and realized how much I'd been missing this last 2 weeks. I mean, with the value that Bert's bringing out here, and it was like, okay, I got this to do. I've actually told everyone at 10:30 I can't talk to anybody. I have to be on this call, and I've made that commitment.
I don't want to cut you off, but I have to because. Normally we're fine to go over in time. This morning I actually have I know I don't do this very often, guys, but I'm getting more into it. It's actually pretty fun, and I'm making a lot of connections in the community. I went to a couple of these meetup groups, and then if you do that, people just want to talk to you, and then just people come out of the woodworks, and I literally I've got a couple new clients for people that have joined Mastery. I just did a little side job for one of my wife's friends. Just did some website work. So I have an appointment that I have to go to this morning, I had a physical appointment. I have to I don't have to shave, but I have to put on clothes. Although I was thinking of posting on Facebook, I'm thinking of shaving the beard at least for a little while until winter comes again. So I was thinking of putting a picture of Clive and saying, should I do the Clive? Go for the handlebar mustache for a few days, or should I do some crazy just have some big crazy long ridiculous handlebar
How about Tom? How about Tom?
No, don't do the. Yeah, I don't think Jessica would like that either, but it would be fun, right? Just shave one razor right here and just have these big chops. So we didn't talk to Clive or Tom or Phil. Yeah, Felicia says hands down on that one.
Yeah, I'm with Felicia.
Monday morning's mindset. I'm going to bring out Clive. I'm going to bring out Phil. I'm going to bring out Tom. And what we're going to talk about, and so that this gives the guys the weekend to kind of think about this and just let it ruminate for a little bit, is I want to talk about the mindset of being able to continue moving forward. Because at this point, each of us that are here, and I know Clive and Phil and Tom as well, have now been doing this for a few weeks and consistently moving forward. And I'm sure there's been challenges, and I'm sure that things have coming, in between, and there's been times and all this, all these different things happening, life. But I want to know what you guys are doing for your mindset specifically on Monday. That's what we're going to talk about. And specifically, Phil, if you want to focus on that mindset of just keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. Because, guys, I want you to notice something about Phil. I don't know if anyone noticed this or not, but do you guys know that Phil, 2 weeks ago, he took a whole week off, too. He went to family camp. I don't know if you noticed there was pictures, and he was just at camp, and he's like, what up? We're going bike riding. Woo, bumper pool, right? Volleyball. So if you could take a week, if Phil could take a week off and come and still be doing this, then each one of us, each one of you can all be doing this. And it's literally about focusing on what are the actions that are going to really get you the results that you want, that you desire. And think about what Phil said in the chat. This is the last thing I want to leave you with. Think about what Phil said in that chat about what he did to get 5 leads. He did something very, very simple. He invested in himself, right? He learned it, and he taught it, right? Is that right? Did I get all the letters right?
Hashtag ILT, baby.
ILT.
There's so many. I got TAN, I'm ILT, I'm GRQ, I'm FT1000, I'm Audi 5000. I don't know how many things I can be. I'm a 100-day challenge. You know what I mean? I'm a 90-day blitz. You're like, there's too many things. But that's exactly, that model works perfect. I've tried, check this out, I've even tried to give it to a few of you multiple times, and you just won't take it. It's like, oh my gosh, I think I've done one webinar 3 times, and only one person's actually done it. I'm like, what are you doing? Here's the webinar. If you think back, those of you that have been here a few times, you'll be able to be like, oh, he has done that webinar. The webinar was something about telling stories And then at the end, I said, just go buy the $7 product so that you can actually go sell it. Except for no one goes and buys the $7 product, and they all go try to sell it. They try to skip the invest step.
Mm-hmm.
By skipping the invest, they also skip the learn because they just took only what my condensed version of the training was. It was a story about storytelling. They didn't go learn how to tell the story in the formula. Then they went and tried to sell it. They went to try to teach it, and they're like, well, no one's doing anything. I'm not getting any response. And I'm like, yeah, because you didn't invest in learning anything. So what are you teaching?
It's a good one, too. It's a very good one.
But check this out. It's so elusive because we all do it. I've done it myself. I called my mentor, and I'm talking, and different mentors have said, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Oh, well, I thought. Well, stop thinking. Stop thinking. You don't have to think. Everyone before you, they all thought it all out. They figured it out. They're like, you got guys like Rob Ford doing matrix crunching, analytical stuff. You don't have to do that. There's already people doing it. All you got to do is just follow what they're doing. Just that easy. So I want you to speak to that, Phil, because it's super powerful. And it works. It works because you got 5 more leads. Right? So I think Felicia, I think your page was cookied because I went and checked and the sound should be off, so it might just be your browsing history, like you just have it cached. But you can check out that link if you guys want. It's just BurtBledsoe.com, and it's Get Leads Online Daily. There's a hyphen in between all the words at the end, right? BurtBledsoe.com/Get Leads Online Daily. And if you want to see how I set that little funnel up, and I made a little email for them and a little page and all of this stuff, you can go and check it out. You can always just unsubscribe, right? There's a button right on that very first email to unsubscribe. What you will get is you'll get the 7-step daily method of operations that I did. So you'll get that if you go through that funnel. That's what the funnel's for. So thank you all so very much. On Mindset Monday, if they're around, we will have Mr. I didn't mean to pin you guys down on Monday if you're around, only if you're around. Mr. Clive, Mr. Phil, and Mr. Tom will be out talking about mindset because they didn't have an opportunity to share it this morning. Thank you all for coming out.
We took over, ladies.
I know, the ladies took over. I tried to bring the guys out to balance it out, and the ladies took over. So thank you, Christina and Felicia and Mrs. Nancy Beach. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's all go out and have an awesome weekend, right? Go out and have a wonderful day today. At least one of you, I know that I have a scheduled call with. If there's anyone else that needs anything, text me, call me, Facebook me, and let me know. Clive, I think I owe you a follow-up call. So this afternoon we can do that, or maybe I have some time while I'm in transit here while I was driving.
Okay.
And we can finish that up. But guys, just go out and have an amazing weekend. Go out and crush it. Go look at the people that are doing stuff. Go start watching Tom and Phil, Clive and Felicia and Christina. Nancy's getting into the mix. Go watch these people. Go see what they're doing online and start mimicking what they're doing, right? The reason they're out here this week, the reason they're here on Friday Fiesta is because they took actions this week, every single one of them. Even Felicia was even brave, so kudos to Felicia for stepping up this morning and telling us her actions that she didn't even necessarily get the exact results that she was trying to achieve, right? And she kind of got verbally slapped, she told us, in a nice way, but she was like, and I got a lecture. So
saved us all from it.
You can even get results that aren't necessarily what you want and still move forward, right? And because there's a group of people here that are like, hey, don't worry about it. I did that too. Let me show you how to do it.
I did that same thing. She's been able to teach.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but I run into the same thing over and over again, even in real life, even when I'm not.
You did it a second time.
Yep, I did it the first. Oh, this one is twice as big as this one.
Yeah.
Because I actually did it 3 times. I just did this one twice.
Wear a hat. Helmet. Put a helmet on.
Note well taken. Thank you guys so much. Go out and have a great day. We'll see you Monday at freedailycoaching.com.
Have
See
fun.
you, everyone.
Deuces.
See ya.
Bye.